Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the all-new Leatt 7.5 DriTour Jacket. Now, if you're not familiar with Leatt, they are a huge brand that started in neck braces, moved into dirt, then into enduro, and they've kind of become one of the biggest brands in that category, and here they are venturing into the adventure touring side of the segment. We've seen 3 new offerings from them, the DriTour on my left being one of them. They also have the Multi-Tour as well as the Flow Tour. And one thing I'll say right out of the gate, the DriTour is going to be aimed at more ADV touring, heavily on the touring aspect, and a little bit more colder weather in my opinion. You do have direct ventilation, you do have removable thermal liner inside of there, which makes me lean towards the winter months, but the direct venting is great. But if you want something that's for hot weather, the Flow Tour, the Multi-Tour is going to be a much better option for you. The Flow Tour being full mesh with a waterproof, and then the Multi-Tour having a thermal and waterproof liner that you can remove for a little bit more 3 to 4 seasonality. But anybody looking at the DriTour, you're going to be looking at those colder riding months out of the year, but you want that ventilation in case there's a hot midday section on your cross-country ride. This could be a great option for you. But before I get too long-winded and all the features and all the styles that they have in this particular option, let's talk about the overall fit. I have Norman on my left. He's 6'3", 225 pounds with a 44-inch chest. Now, if you look at the sizing chart for Leatt, 44 chest is right between the upper side of a large and a smaller side of an extra large. We have him in a size extra large, and it's fitting him spot on, especially with that thermal liner inside. One thing to keep in mind is it does come with chest armor. It does come with a back protector already included. So you want to factor that in with your sizing. But like I said, if you reference that sizing chart, you should be all set when it comes to the overall fitment. Comes in at $600. 3 color options are available and comes in size small all the way up to 5 extra large. For those of you that are plus size or larger riders out there, the 5 extra large option is awesome in my opinion. I think Leatt's doing a great job just giving everybody an option within the line. But the overall main construction that I want to talk about, it is a polyester ripstop main construction with super fabric reinforcements at the shoulder, at the elbow, and a few other areas. You do have a full drop thermal liner, a full sleeve drop thermal liner that is a destination liner, so you can remove it if you want. Full CE2 armor, which I'll talk about in just a second, but the overall abrasion rating for this is also CE AA, so it's going to help you out in the event of a slide. If you go down on the bike, this is going to protect you both from an armor aspect as well as an abrasion quality. Starting up at the top though and working our way down, you do have a Velcro collar that can snap open if you want, but you can close that up, get a little bit more protection from the wind, or open it up on those hotter midday rides to get a little bit more airflow through. You do have neck braces on each side, neck brace holsters on each side that help keep if you want to add a neck brace. Again, like I mentioned before, Leatt is known for their neck braces, how they really got started out of South Africa. You go ahead and add that neck brace in there, those straps will help hold it down and make sure that it stays in position should you go down. Coming down the outer sleeve, you'll see a little bit of a pop of reflection at the front collarbone, and then you do have super fabric on the outside. Now, super fabric are tiny ceramic plates that just help with that sliding abrasion resistance, so it helps you actually slide further should you go down on the ground, which is what you want. Anything that catches and grabs causes you to tumble. That's when more injuries get involved. So having super fabric on the outer shoulder as well as the elbow, that's key landing zones in the event of an accident. So I like that they've partnered with super fabric and added that in the exterior. That also kind of goes to show that it is designed a little bit more for the touring side of it, a little bit more asphalt protection. You don't see that on the Flow Tour, which is a little bit more off-road oriented. When we come down the sleeve, you will have an adjuster at the inner bicep as well as a Velcro adjuster, a slide adjuster down here at the forearm. And if you could just turn to the side, there's the super fabric I was talking about before. You get that huge plate down the outside as well as a zipper to access the elbow armor should you want to remove it. Speaking of armor, before I go a little bit too much farther than that, I do have it right here. This is CE Level 2 armor from Leatt. You get that at the shoulder, the elbow, the chest, and the back. That's all CE Level 2 rated. Very ventilated, so it's not going to stop air flowing through, especially if you open up the chest vents. That air is not going to be hindered from going all the way through, but I like that they're including all of the armor, especially at the $600 price point. There's brands out there that don't even include a back protector, so the fact that you're getting all chest armor included with the back as well as the shoulder and elbow, I really like that Leatt added that in there. Looking at the front though, like I mentioned, that collar up top, you do have a zipper with Velcro covering over top and a magnetic holster down at the base. When we look at the front chest, you actually can see these are big vents that you can fold away and open up, get a little bit more airflow. If you don't have that thermal liner inside of there, you can get that airflow through to the jacket. And I like that they added this gaiter on there. any water makes it past that zipper, it's gonna go and hit that gator. And I actually haven't mentioned it yet, but it's a good place to talk about it. The overall waterproofing of this jacket is laminated to the exterior shell. So it's a laminated main construction waterproof. It's 30K on the waterproofing and membrane and breathability scale, which is far past what we've seen from Gore-Tex, Gore Pro, any other brands out there. So I like that they're going above and beyond with that waterproof liner. And like I said, that's a waterproof laminated to the main construction. So when you open the vents, that's gonna be direct air right through to the body. Down below, you do have some magnetic closed waterproof pockets. They're top loading pockets as well as some hand warmer pockets to each side. You can go ahead and turn to the side and go ahead and hit that riding position for me. At the riding position, you can really get a great view of the super fabric, both at the shoulder as well as the elbow. One thing I would have loved to see from Leatt is just a little bit more stretch, maybe some accordion panels for that riding position. Just make it a little bit more comfortable. They did a great job in the overall cut and fit. I think it's one of the most comfortable fitting ADV jackets I've tried on in a long time, but stretch is always your friend in those longer hours on the bike. So I would like to see that maybe in the next iteration of this jacket. Nice V-shaped adjuster at the side. One thing that's great about the V-shaped adjuster, it's gonna pull in at the top, it's gonna pull in at the bottom, really help cinch down and perfect that fit if it's not great right out of the box. You also get a Velcro adjuster at the side too. If you need to cinch in the lower hem, you can go ahead and do that. Any area that is, loose or anything like that on those longer highway tours is a place where water can get in. So just keep that in mind. You wanna make sure it is as secure of a fit as possible. Normally go ahead and hit the back for me. When we look at the back, you do have a hanger as well as the Leatt logo for the neck brace, just letting you know that it's neck brace compatible. And you do get a massive vent at the back that I do actually want to open up here just to show you, because it does have a magnetic holster, but when you cinch it all the way down and magnetically secure it into place, you get a massive exhaust vent at the back. So again, even though this is cooler riding in my opinion, if it's a hot midday, you can get all that air exiting out of the back of the jacket as it's flowing in through the chest. So I do like that they added that. Love the little magnetic pouch though. When you fold it in, it gets to hold it nice and secure. You also get a lower storage pocket at the back as well with a little bit of a magnetic flap on the one side. If you need to remove that thermal liner, you can go ahead and tuck it away and put it inside this pouch for those hotter times of the day. Go ahead and turn to the front for me, Norman, just to unzip. Let's show them the interior of this jacket. Like I said, we're not gonna see a waterproof liner or anything like that because it is a laminated waterproofing all the way throughout. But the one thing you do have in here is that destination removable thermal liner in here. This is the inside of the thermal. There is reverse zips on each side that you can go ahead and zip that out. Wear it if you're around the campsite, you're setting up camp or anything like that. You can go ahead and wear this on its own as a thermal. Get a good glimpse here of the CE2 armor at the chest. And that white behind the mesh liner is actually that waterproof laminate that I mentioned before. You can't remove the waterproofing. That's why I love that they added direct vents to the exterior to help flow some air through. Plenty of storage pockets all the way throughout. I really dig this stretch thermal liner that's inside. I think it's a great addition, especially for $600. A lot of brands don't include liners. So I like that not only are they including a liner, but one that you can wear around the campsite. You have a short connection zipper at the back should you want to attach this to the DriTour pants that are available, which we will have a video on as well. You can attach that up and make it one singular piece. You can go ahead and zip that up for me. So there you have it, the Leatt 7.5 DriTour jacket within Leatt's new ADV line. I think this is probably, I'll say it's probably my third favorite of the three. I think the multi-tour gives you that 4 seasonality. The flow tour is my favorite one. That's the one I'll be riding with. That's a full mesh with waterproofing just for my riding segment, how much I sweat out on the trails. But if you are touring in that or going through those cooler months, you can't go wrong with the new DriTour features, price point, everything comes together. And I think it makes a great option for those that need it in those colder months. But if you have any other questions, feel free to click that info button. That's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about the DriTour. If you still have questions after that, or if you want to talk over fit or talk to anybody about any of the features built into this jacket, reach out to our customer service agents. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up on your next ride. I want to thank you for joining Norman and I and checking out the all-new Leatt 7.5 DriTour jacket. I'm Pat, and I'll see you in the next video.